AVNation in the Kramer booth at ISE 2018 with David. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Tim. I'm good.
Good. You guys, about a week or so ago, sent out a very interesting announcement ahead of ISE that Kramer had joined the SDVoE Alliance.
That's true.
If folks aren't familiar, the SDVoE Alliance is an alliance of manufacturers and some integrators that are using the SDVoE technology to send high bandwidth, high resolution 4K over a 10 gig network. So why did Kramer go down that road?
Well, first of all, we already started working with SDVoE. And one of the products that we showcase here on the show is our HDBaseT, which is our zero latency streaming devices. So we actually are already there using that technology. Okay. It was kind of for us a very natural move just to kind of join the wagon and develop our next generation of streaming technology using their technology. And on top of that, I think that there's a very interesting combination of companies that have joined that alliance, and we want to be part of it.
Yeah. Are you guys getting away from the HDBaseT technology in your products?
No, we are not. And if you could walk through the booth, you would see that we still develop our own technology, which is, for example, the DigiCat 2, which can be considered as a competition, but it's not. I mean, we're kind of trying to be all over the place. HDBaseT for us is very important, and of course, we will keep on offering products with that format. And on top of that, we're going to be developing the SDVoE technology products, and of course our own. So we kind of try to follow, what the Kramer was doing, the company was doing the last 36 years, and kind of trying to be all over the place and offer whatever the market is demanding.
Well, it also ties into something you guys have been preaching for a while, which your tagline, which is AV over IT, right? That is, I think, is an important thing, because as integrators and honestly their clients start saying, let's put stuff on the network because it's what's already there. They're spending thousands of dollars or sometimes millions of dollars on an IT infrastructure, and to be able to leverage that, I think is an important message for folks to understand that you guys are able to take what's already there and utilize it. Right.
Definitely. We've been talking about the Kramer strategy, what we call the AV over IT strategy, and it all falls together. First of all, the new owners of AV today are the IT departments. On top of that, technology is moving to IP. And if you take into consideration that the new owners of AV in organizations expect to have the ability to manage, control, and handle AV as a standard IT deployment, for us, it's kind of a natural move to go there. And, think about security, for example.
Yep.
So we have showcased of security, of secured AV products. Who would have thought, like 3 years ago, that that's going to be a big issue? Now it's an issue. And guess what? It is coming all over the place. Even standard AV integrators are coming to us and asking about secured AV and how they can leverage and utilize standard IT networks for AV signal management. So we are there, and we are kind of part of the game, looking for more efficient bandwidth to push video and audio, and on top of that, providing that layer of control and enterprise management products. It's all here. I welcome everybody to come and see. I think we've made a giant leap the past 3 years.
One thing that you guys, in the whole vein of the AV over IT, is your control software, right? It's something that you guys have been developing. You're starting training now. Talk for a second about how Kramer control is different than another competitor's control system.
So, we are not that heavily invested in our control assets. We actually, started from scratch and thought, what are the key pain points of a control environment? I think that complexity and the fact that this is expensive, those are two things which kind of, for us, made a difference. And what we've decided to do is prove everyone that you can do control simple without compromising on functionality. Here in IEC, starting from Monday, every day we have 2 sessions of control training. We want to prove that it takes 3 hours to be a control programmer. It's unbelievable. I mean, people are, for people it's really hard to understand how simple it is. So you don't need to write any code. It's drag and drop. It's very, very simple, even for a standard IT person who's not familiar with control, to get on top of that and kind of help his own organization to adjust, change, and even build control setups. So we've made control very simple. On top of that, there's another new thing that we introduced here in IEC. We've managed to take the brain component, the brain software, and run it on our KT107, which is our Kramer touch panel, which means that now we've made control even simpler from the installation perspective, and this will enable to bring in control to smaller spaces or to spaces which normally you won't be putting control because that's too complex or too expensive.
Yeah, well, the other thing that you guys do with your control is it's distributed, right? So you have several, what you guys call brains, throughout an organization. Instead of having one dedicated processor per room,
yes,
it's an overarching architecture
yes,
that looks at it as a building as a whole, almost a holistic type.
Yes.
At InfoComm this year, talking with Yuval Kramer, about your audio guy, he showed us the DSP. You guys kind of announced it then. Shipping now. What makes the Kramer DSP different than another DSP?
Well, I think first of all, we've talking about the move to IP, more to the IP. So we've tied in with Waves Audio,
yep,
which is a pretty known name in the audio industry, and kind of created a very harmonic synergy with them, enabling us to provide the best of what Kramer has and the best of what Waves has to a very, very powerful product. I think that, first of all, from our perspective, that product runs on a standard server, which is for us is kind of new because we are not there. I mean, we are not an IT company or an IT manufacturer.
But you're becoming one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Typically we are not, but we are going there. So it runs on a server, a standard server, which is great. It has some great and unique features which were built or custom designed for us. In many senses, I think that even from the cost perspective, we are much more attractive. So we've kind of brought the world of DSP, the best of the world of the DSP, and the Kramer approach, and put that on a standard IT, let's call that a product. And from that point on, I mean, I think that what we have right now is a great combination of a good quality DSP with a good price point. And again, we have it in 2 levels, so you can take all that greatness and put that in a small room, or you can take that and kind of apply that on a very large deployment with about 1,000 of sources. So it's kind of for us, it's new, it's an exciting, but it's a kind of a natural move for us to go there. So I think that in many senses, what we have to offer right now is equivalent, and in some senses, even more cost-effective than what competition has to offer.
All right. Well, let's kind of wrap this whole thing up. We've used the phrase AV over IT, right? I reference the fact that that's your guys' tagline. That's what you guys have been talking about for a couple of years now. From your perspective, if you're talking to an integrator or you're helping an integrator talk to an end client, how do you define AV over IT when it comes to Kramer?
This is a great question. Normally when you talk about AV over something, so it's AV over IP. And that refers mainly to technology. Sometimes streaming, sometimes other things. which are IP. We've realized that if we want to succeed in making that move, we need to adjust not just our technology, but also the work methodology, which means that right now what we are offering to the new AV owners, the IT people, we offer them tools and methods of work which are built to what they would expect. So for example, we have the Kramer network, which is our enterprise management system, and that thing was built for an IT professional. IT professional which normally, he deals with his IT installations remotely. He can support it, he can provision it, he can have a browser-driven interface and connect from anywhere to see what's happening in his installation. Plus the approach of simplicity. Kramer Maestro, which we've introduced a while ago, but again, this kind of catches up speed right now. Why? Because IT people understand that if they are looking for peace of mind, they need to reduce the interaction of the standard user with the with the AV environment. So it's all about those small spaces which don't break, work automatically, and for an IT guy, that's a natural thing. We understand that today an AV deployment and a meeting room, for example, is as critical for the IT person as his telephony system and his email system. Because when that breaks and your CEO is sitting in that room, it doesn't matter if it is a telephony or email. This thing needs to go back again, and we've kind of taken that approach, and we right now apply all sorts of work methodologies on top of or parallel to the IP technologies that we right now use to develop our own product. I think that another key component is training. And right now what we are doing, we are training our standard AV integrators to kind of a safe path towards IT, and training the IT professionals a bit more about AV, so that for us that convergence, we experience it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I like the safe path. That's a good analogy. If somebody is interested in the products that we talked about or anything else with Kramer, they want to become a dealer, how do they do that?
So they can reach out to us through any channel they wish. Not just on the show, of course, but just contact us, and we'll be there. We'll be there, and we are looking for good partners worldwide. So I encourage everybody to contact Kramer.
All right, Kramer.com. David from Kramer. My name is Tim Albright. For more information about us or finding other ISE videos, you can find us at AVNation.tv. AVNation.tv.